And now, the best of Groucho. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is hand. H-A-N-D.
I didn't know you could spell that.
You bet your life. Yes, it's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
An unmitigated bore. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples, and if any of them say the secret word, the duck will fly down and pay him $100.
Well, Mrs. Nell Wood and Commander John Kelsey are standing by, Groucho.
Is that a simple declarative?
Pardon me?
Miss Nell Wood?
No, that's her name. Mrs. Nell Wood and Commander Kelsey are...
I just want you to know that I went to school, too.
They're standing by, and I'm sure they're ready to come in now. I know I'm ready to have them come in. So,
Yes,
folks,
yes.
would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
You'd welcome anybody.
Yeah, I certainly would.
Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Commander John Kelsey and Mrs. Nellie Woods, eh? Well, Nellie, let's start with you. Where are you from, Nellie?
Groucho, may I correct you? My name is Nell, not Nellie, and Wood, not Woods.
Oh, do you remember that song? You don't know Nellie like I do, said the saucy little bird in Nellie's hat. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
That was circa 1873, I think. You're Commander John Kelsey, eh?
That's right.
Glad to have you with us, Commander. Glad to have you on board. Isn't that what they say?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It isn't often we have a Salvation Army official on our show. Where's your drum, Commander?
I'm in the Navy, sir.
In that case, you can't beat it, huh? How long have you been a full commander, John?
I'm a lieutenant commander. I've been lieutenant commander for 4.5 years.
You're not a full commander?
No, not yet.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you go right out after the show and get something to eat. You know what I always say? A full commander is a happy commander. Well, seriously, folks, what is your job in the Navy? Do you polish up the handle of the big front door?
No, sir, I'm the commanding officer of a submarine.
The Salvation Army has a submarine?
No, but the
What
Navy...
do? Declare war on the volunteers of America?
No, this is the Navy submarine.
Oh, you're in the Navy?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, what's the name of your tub? I mean sub.
USS Basugo.
I beg your pardon.
The USS Basugo, it's named after a fish. Most submarines are named after fish.
Fish? I never heard of a fish named Bazooka. Where'd they get a name like that?
Well, they were naming the submarines after fish up until possibly toward the end of World War II. They had so many, I suspect they started to name the fish after submarines.
Well, tell us about one of these new subs. How long can the new one stay underwater, do you know?
Well, I can't say officially. However, there's a joke going around the Navy that the newest ones only surface every 4 years so that the crew can re-enlist.
And is that the kind of hilarity that goes on underwater? Well, I guess when you're underwater a lot, you're inclined to get a little warped. Now, Nellie, Nell, let's talk to you for a moment. Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
Well, who do you work for?
United States Post Office.
Really? What do you do for the post office? Are you the one that puts the sludge in the inkwells? Or do you just break the points on the pens?
I'm Senior Assistant Superintendent of the Los Angeles office.
Oh, well, that's a very imposing job, isn't it? What are your duties as assistant superintendent?
I classify first, third, and fourth class mail for rates. I handle the legal end of any violations of the postal laws and regulations. And
I notice you skip second-class mail. Don't you have anything to do with second-class mail?
no, it's subject all
I'm a
its own.
second-class mail, but you have anything to do with me.
I would say you were first class, Groucho.
Well, why do you skip second class?
It's a job all its own, and I have too much work to do to take care of the second-class mail.
I see. Now, Commander, I'm sure most of our listeners have no idea of life on a submarine. Tell us something about it. For example, how big are the living quarters?
Well, Groucho, it's a little hard to draw a comparison, I think. However, I could say they're about the same size as a small two-bedroom apartment.
Well, that sounds charming. Now, how many men do you usually carry on one of these things?
Well, normally the complement is about 72 men and 8 officers.
80 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, huh? How do you get them all in there? Do you use a shoehorn? I should think it'd be difficult to get men to enlist for this kind of life, is it?
No, indeed, Groucho. In fact, I consider it quite a privilege myself to be a member of the United States Navy, and I think that our active submarine service and the Submarine Naval Reserve Organization is the finest, and that this atomic-powered submarine, the Nautilus, is leading us into a bright era of the future.
Now, how about morale? Isn't that one of your problems? How do the men amuse themselves on a long cruise?
Well, there's several things for them to do. Normally we carry movies that can be shown to the men, and they have several games they play.
Like what?
The most popular usually is Acey-Deucey.
Well, mercy sakes, Acey-Deucey. I thought poker was the sailor's favorite game, next to girls. Now, be frank now, isn't it really poker?
Oh, no, Groucho, they're not allowed to play poker, officially.
They're not, eh? Commander, if your men are listening, my guess is right now they're laughing so hard they're dropping all their poker chips.
I have to be careful what I say up here, because I'm sure that all my officers and men are listening and waiting for the old man to make a dunce of himself. So.
Don't you do that on board?
Yes, but they can't laugh there.
Well, right now they're at Davy Jones' locker. I don't think they're listening. They're busy playing poker in here. Well, it's been very interesting talking to you two, and I'd like to continue, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life. You selected geography. I don't know why a fellow who's at the bottom of the ocean should select geography. Remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is.
70?
$70.
$70.
All right. Kiska and Attu are islands in a major group extending westward from Alaska. What is the name of this island chain?
Aleutian.
That's right. But from now on, you consult with the captain.
And you now have $170.
Because he might have said Zanzibar, and you'd lost the money. Now what are you going to go for?
80.
All right.
80? All right. What is the capital of the state of Oregon?
Salem.
Salem is right.
You now have $250.
Well, let's do 90 then.
Try 90.
All right. Winnipeg is the capital of what Canadian province?
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
Manitoba is right.
You now have climbed to $340.
Say, you can buy that submarine with the dough you win. All right. Now what are you going to go for?
Not quit now.
What's
Say
that?
100, I guess.
100, huh? Reykjavik, Reykjavik, is the capital and only large city of what republic?
Iceland.
You're too smart, huh? Thanks.
Wind up with $440 all the way to the top.
Your crew is going to be proud of you, Commander. Hey, Commander!
Well, Groucho, just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a nursery school teacher. She's Betty Mott, and her partner is Mr. Vernon Dwelly. So, folks, you can please and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Betty Mott and Vernon Dwelly. Huh? Betty Mott, you're a nursery school teacher, is that correct?
That's right.
Well. Shouldn't have any trouble handling me. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Minneapolis, but I came here when I was 4, so that just about makes me a native, I think.
Oh, you came from the Twin Cities, huh?
That's
Are you a
right.
twin?
No.
You're just a single girl, huh?
No, I'm married.
Oh, you're a single married girl, huh?
Uh-huh.
How old are you, Betty?
I'm 36.
36? My gosh, you're a young-looking 36. And you're married?
Yes.
End of interview. You're Vernon Dwelly, huh?
That's right, Groucho.
Where's your home, Vernon?
Well, my home was in just on the
Where do
borders.
you Dwelly, huh?
Dwelly is right. It was on the border of Wales and England, Liverpool.
Vernon, what sort of work do you do?
I'm the assistant district manager in charge of travel of the American Express Company
Oh, I see.
in Los Angeles.
Well, what are your duties in a job like that?
Well, we prepare tours, short, long tours to all parts of the world. Might have a short trip to Catalina or a little gambling in Las Vegas or possibly a tiger hunt in India.
Sounds interesting. How much would a trip like that cost me?
Well, which one would you like to take?
Well, which place has the most tigers? What advantage is there to your service? Why can't I just go and buy a ticket? What do I need you for?
Well, I'd like to compare it to buying a radio or a television set. You wouldn't go into one shop and buy a tube, and to another shop and buy some wire, and a third shop and buy the chassis.
It may interest you to know that that's just the way I assembled my set.
Well, you're the exception on that one, I would say.
You know, they cashed my personal check in Paris, and they told me they never do this, but they hear our show overseas through the Radio Armed Forces or something, and they recognized me, and they cashed a personal check for me for $1,000.
I hope it was my company that did it.
It was the American Express, but unfortunately, I can never go back to Paris again.
I'll check on it tomorrow.
Well, Betty, let's get back to your nursery school. What is the name of it? Is it something cute like Humpty Dumpty's Dump?
Well, no, it's the Kathleen Mott Play Center.
Oh. And how old are the inmates of this institution?
Well, they run from 2 to 5.
They do, huh? Well, who's chasing them? Okay, I know what you mean. They're between the ages of 2 and 5.
That's right.
Sometimes I pretend I'm even more stupid than I actually am. Which is quite a trick, too. Now, Betty, do you think it's wise to put youngsters that age in school?
Yes, I do. I don't believe that you can start too young to help children to make an adjustment to the outside world. And if they can make this adjustment at an early age, it helps them so much better to be good citizens later on.
How do you do this, huh?
Well, first of all, we try to help the child to realize that the first adult he meets away from home is a warm, friendly person.
This is in the summer, but what about the winter?
Well, this person has to be somebody upon whom the child can depend.
Well, people are warm, friendly, and can be trusted. And you're preparing them all right.
That's right.
You're preparing them for the biggest shock they'll ever experience. Well, I know of my own personal experience that my life is wrapped around my children. And I very seldom do anything that doesn't involve them. I mean, if I go away for a trip or something, it's quite a wrench to me until I get back. The children are delighted, but they don't even miss you.
Maybe they should be in a nursery school.
Well, it's a little difficult. My son is 32. Well, you're a lovely couple, and my advice is get married immediately. All right, let's play You Bet Your Life. You know how to play the game. Remember your partners. I want one answer on everything. You selected nursery rhymes, or you crook. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, you supply the missing words of these common nursery rhymes. Now, what do you want to start with?
100?
Start 100, all right.
100, huh? Okay, blank, blank, my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen. Now, fill in the blanks.
Oh, gosh, that's a...
I'll teach her to take nursery. Hickety, pickety, my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen.
You lost half your $100. You now have $50.
Don't get discouraged now. That's only the
90 or
first.
80.
80?
We'll try, you know them. How about 90?
All right, 90.
90. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer's day. The blank, 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 he stole those tarts and took them clean away.
The Jack of Hearts. The Knave of Hearts.
The Knave of Hearts, that's right, that's right.
You now have $140.
What do you want?
Oh,
It's gone to 80.
Little
80?
one, big one.
Have trust in the nursery school.
Blank, blank, blank runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. Fine guy this is.
Wee Willie
He get
Winky.
pitched, huh?
Wee Willie Winky.
Wee Willie Winky is right. Wee Willie Winky.
You now have $220.
Now, what are you going to go for?
Well, the top.
70?
70.
Blank, blank, where have you been? I've been to London to look at the Queen.
Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been?
I've been to London to see the Queen.
Well done.
And you wind up with $290.
Thank you very much.
$290 you wind up with.
Thank you so
You were
much.
charming.
Thank you, Groucho.
Groucho, we have a young married couple for you now. Mr. and Mrs. Eddie Mance. Would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mr. and Mrs. Edward Mance, eh? Are you married? Well, you're both mere children. How old are you?
We're 19, both of us.
You're each 19. That makes 38. Well, you had me fooled. I thought you were about 18 and a half. Mr. Mance, where are you from?
I was born and raised in Glendale, California, Groucho.
Where?
Glendale, California.
Glendale. Mrs. Mance, what is your first name?
Nancy.
Okay, I'll call you Nellie.
That's right.
Nancy Mance, eh? That's very cute. Now, where were you born, Nancy?
I was born in Glendale, too.
Both of you born in Glendale?
That's right.
That's kind of a coincidence, isn't it, Nancy?
Well, no, Glendale's a pretty big city. Lots of people are born there.
I've noticed lately we've had quite a few people who were born in California. Apparently, California is finally getting a population of its own. Everybody in California doesn't come from someplace else. We're now patronizing home industries. How long have you been married, Eddie? I assume you're newlyweds of about a half hour's duration, aren't you?
No, we've been married 7 months, Groucho.
7 months. You're old hands at marriage, eh? Well, you'll be celebrating your paper anniversary one of these days. How did you meet Eddie the first time, Nancy?
Well, I'd told everybody that I wanted to meet him.
You told everybody in Glendale you wanted to meet Eddie?
I told half of the population of Glendale High School that I would like very much to meet him because he was a star in our basketball team.
I see. And you were going out for athletics, huh?
Yeah.
What sort of work do you do, Eddie? You still playing basketball?
No, I'm in construction work now.
Oh.
I dig ditches and carry lumber for carpenters and do the payroll at the end of the week.
Your own or theirs, huh? Nancy, I know young people just embarking on the sea of matrimony sometimes have problems adjusting their budget. Do you keep a budget?
We try to.
I see a glazed look in your eye when I mention a budget. Well, how do you make out generally, Nancy? Are you keeping your head above water financially?
Well, if you'd like to say that, we have ring payments, wedding ring payments.
Wedding ring.
We have car payments. Let's see, we have payments on the refrigerator and on the television, on the furniture, and Eddie has quite a bit of insurance, almost every kind there is.
Nancy, have you ever seen a picture called Double Indemnity? My advice to you is not to come home anymore, Eddie. You can overdo insurance. Why do you carry so much, Nancy?
Well, I guess because my father's an insurance agent.
Oh, well, Eddie, you're certainly an agreeable son-in-law. You're lucky your old man's not an undertaker.
Might help.
Well, you're real nice kids, and I've got an idea I could go on gabbing with you for days and never get tired of it. You're what I call a typical American couple. Your entire future is mortgaged. All right, now let's play You Bet Your Life, and I certainly hope you win some money. Let's see how much money you can make. I can't help you, but I wish I could.
In the race for the $1,000, the first couple is still leading with $440.
You selected the musical category. In this one, the orchestra will play the first 8 bars of the song. The title is somewhere in those first 8 bars. Is that clear? Remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. These songs are all familiar favorites. What are you going to start with?
100.
100.
Okay. Now, this was the top novelty song of 1909. I'm what they call just a friendly old quizmaster. Now, don't laugh yet. They may know this. This song has been around a number of times. All right, see if you can identify it. Play it.
Jingle, jingle, jumbly, something.
What is it, audience? See, they all know.
Oh,
See.
yeah.
Well, you lost half your $100. You now
Hi,
have
audience.
$50.
All right, what are you going to go for?
90.
The little ones are easy, big ones are tough. 90. This song is from the production Jubilee. It was first out in 1935. What is the title? Play, Jack.
Hot dog.
What is it?
Just one of those.
Yes, one of those things is right.
And you now have $140.
Okay, what are you going to go for?
80.
80. This song by Cole Porter is from the stage production of Anything Goes.
Blow, Gabriel.
Blow, Gabriel, blow is right.
And you now have $220.
What are you going to go
More than
for?
we've ever had before.
70, Groucho.
$70. This song is from the production Showboat. What is the name of it? Mr. Meekin? Your baton. Wait a minute.
That's not from
Meekin, you're
Showboat.
playing the wrong song, huh?
But that's Somebody Stole My Gal.
All right, that's right. That's for $60. I'm going to give it to you for $70, although it's a $60 question.
And you wind up with $290.
Thanks to Mr. Meekin.
That means that Mrs. Nell Wood and Commander Kelsey, with $440, get the chance at the $1,000 question.
Are you ready, Commander?
Yes, sir.
Well, pipe yourself on board. I have no idea what that means here. Has something to do with smoking, I guess. Okay, according to Greek legend, a man once had to sit through a banquet with a sword suspended over his head by a single hair. For $1,000, who was this man? Well, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Damocles.
The sword of Damocles is right. Well, I'm delighted you won the money, Commander. Congratulations. You bet your life.
Groucho Marx has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.